Welcome everybody to the fucking debate. I'm Chris Wallace, and I am tight and moist. We are here joined by Vice President, Democratic primary nominee, Joe Biden, and current President, Donald J. Trump.
Based.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. By the way, can you please, respect the rules of the debate by any chance?
The gay rules.
Yeah, you're right.
The rules which are gay.
Yeah, they're pretty gay. I gotta
No,
admit.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay. First question for both of you tonight. Joe Biden, you co-authored the crime bill and supported a law and order ticket for most of your time as a senator from Delaware. And you, Donald J. Trump, you didn't let black people rent from your properties or sell or lease to them.
Yeah.
My question to both of you is, which one of you hate black people most? We'll start with you, Mr. Trump.
This is the easiest question I've ever had to answer. It's me for sure.
Why would it be you, Mr. Trump?
I'm the best at hating black people. They're my favorite thing to hate.
Okay then, Mr. Biden.
Well, listen, that and a cup of coffee will get you like some sort of chewing tobacco. You remember they used to call me old Bazooka Joe. You remember those comics? You could find them inside.
Mr. Biden, I hate to interrupt you, but
Biden is very similar to a black
Trump,
person in that I'm superior to him.
Mr. Trump, you have something under your chin right there. Let me just wipe that
thank
off.
you.
All right, please continue, Mr. Biden.
Well, see, the Bazooka, they used to call me Bazooka Joe, and you could find that inside your best gal. You know what I'm saying, Mac? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said Jack there. I'll shut up now.
Joe Biden says the N-word.
Joe Biden, have you ever said the N-word in front of President Obama?
He says it to me in confidence all the time.
Is that really true?
He says it to me in private all the time, every day.
How?
Listen,
I say it too, but he doesn't. He's not cool enough to own up to it.
that's all hog monkey wash, Mac. I got.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Listen here. If you used to be able to buy groceries for a quarter, and when I'm president, we'll have big cars,
Used
and
to
you'll
be able to buy people for a quarter. Those were good. Those were better times.
Now, guys, please, we have
Listen
to...
here. I only believe that you should shoot those people in the leg.
Mr. Trump, Joe Biden would shoot protesters in the leg. How would you top that?
I would shoot them right in the pussy.
Right in the pussy. What about those who don't have pussy? And speaking of which, how many genders are there, Mr. Biden?
There's at least. I thought there were 3, but I forgot how to count. But I'm being told that it's possibly we have discovered a 4th gender.
There's only one gender, and it's the white one.
Guys, this has been a fantastic debate. We're going to move on now.
Gay.
There is a reckoning in America, some would argue, that there are right-wing militia groups, such as the Proud Boys, that are wreaking havoc and possibly will be inspired to intimidate voters this election. Mr. Trump, can you condemn a new faction of right-wing militias known as the Femboys, which is a group of himbos who absolutely worship you?
What was the question again? What were you asking me?
I'm asking you, Donald J. Trump, would you condemn the actions of the himbo-inspired Femboys?
No.
Mr. Biden?
I feel like I should elaborate. The femboys get my dick hard, especially when they kill black people. Okay, over to Biden.
Biden?
All right. First of all, shut up. Second of all, I don't know what I have no idea. What time is it?
It is 2:30, sir.
There's 3 people on the wall, and you used to be able to get really flat hamburgers. I couldn't do it. All right, cut. That's it. That's the end. That's the end.
Hey,
of it.
welcome to the Broletariat.
Welcome to the big gay and prim hour.
Welcome to everyone's favorite crypto-fascist podcast. I'm Tom. I'm joined with my friends.
I'm Thor.
And this is...
I'm Thomas.
And today let's start off. That was good. Good cold open, guys. Great intro.
Thank you.
How's everyone doing? I've had a really good day. I've drank a lot of beer. I went golfing, and everything that's true about golf culture is fucking true.
It's gross.
It is gross. Every time I walk on the course anywhere, I'm like, oh shit, public housing could be built here. That's where it could. I'm literally stepping on hollow ground. This is Indian burial ground in some regards. But my day was pretty good.
Hell yeah.
You know, how about your day?
I got into an argument with some authoritarian fascists online, and they called me a faggot. So that's been my day.
Awesome.
That's been my literal whole day.
Well,
I woke up at like 4 o'clock. I have like a shitty job where I have to drive door to door, and so like when I'm pretending to do that job, I also I'll be on my phone on Facebook arguing with fucking groiper ass 4chan nerds, and they always end up calling me some variation of faggot.
Yeah.
So it's sort of par for the course.
Thor, how about you? I noticed Thomas is active in in the online combative arena. You've been quiet. You're healthy now.
Yeah,
And I think this
incredibly.
coincides with all the bans you got.
No, it's like literally because I got banned literally like month to month to month. I have been in the gym. I have lost 50 pounds. I do yoga now. I look like I did when I was 21. But I lost every single joke that I've ever written. So
What happened,
luckily,
dude?
comedy's dead. But I just fucking reset my phone. So
It's okay. It's okay.
hopefully
You're
this
not-
podcast takes off because
Shit,
otherwise
dude.
I've got nothing.
You may not be funny anymore, but now you're hot.
I know, right?
What a fucking boomer resets his phone. Oh my god, guys.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, Margaret.
God,
what a
what a
fucking
boomer.
tiny dick
What are you
boomer.
gonna
It's the
shit
only.
yourself,
It was
boomer?
literally this fucking piece of shit Razor phone. Like the only way it'll charge is if you reset it every like 3 months.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You have to reset it for the hardware to work.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Well, Dennis Prager's right. This is a good segue going into what we'll joke about. Leftists usually aren't happy.
Yeah.
As we as
we are
see.
absolutely pissed off all the time.
It's been like about 3 weeks since we're on here, so you know, let's bring what we have to the table today, guys. We'll talk about RBG, but mainly I assigned homework, which was the fucking cancel con, baby, yeah.
I just like I did with all my real homework while I was in elementary school and middle school and high school and also college. I didn't do it.
Which was a good call.
It was good.
I didn't watch the 2-hour video with Ted Cruz as the thumbnail. You'll have to forgive me.
Cancel con gave Thor COVID. This is how fucking bad it was. We had to put him on a ventilator.
So what was it? Nobody ever explained to me what CancelCon is.
Guys,
Well, if
I
you
thought
watched
it
we
was a
wouldn't have
movie.
to.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
I thought it was like the neocon version of like a Christian film.
So this is what it is. Dave Rubin, Dennis Prager, and Ben Shapiro on a high chair. They all met together in Adam Carolla's garage to promote Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager's video. Get this. This is a movie. It's a documentary. And I guarantee you, dude, look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Errol Morris. Fucking that Oppenheimer guy, whatever his name, the guy made like the Art of Killing, that shit. Those documentaries.
Sun Tzu?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, that guy. The one.
Hold
the
on,
J-
you said Oppenheimer, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
described Chinese General Sun Tzu.
No.
What?
If it was a Chinese Oppenheimer, then we would have to censor whatever.
The Chinese
Hold on.
Oppenheimer
Dig
is
it.
Mao.
Hold on. Barrett. Let's.
Yes.
Those documentarians don't have shit on what fucking Big Dick Dennis and everyone's favorite Jimmy Kimmel sidekick, Adam Carolla, have when they made this documentary called No Safe Spaces.
Oh, no
With-
safe spaces.
The whole gist of it is, and the thing that leapt out to me is Dave Rubin's hosting, and the entire time he's basically fawning for their attention, and they repeatedly make gay jokes about it. Or this was my other favorite part about it, and then I'll let you rant on it too, Thor. Fucking Dave doesn't read. It's clear. This fucking wet towel on a tile floor. They asked that Dennis Prager was talking about how he was like smuggling like religious artifacts, not like the Ark of the Covenant, like Bibles and Torahs and shit, to Christians and Jews in like communist Germany. And one of the guys that apparently, he helped escape the Soviet Union was Sergey Brin, who is a plutocrat, or no, more like an oligarch. Sorry, Sergey Brin. He needed help remembering his name, and he's like, "Who was the big tech guy who was he's Russian?"
Elon
And
Musk.
Dave Rubin with so much fucking confidence. He's like, "Yeah, I know that guy, Alexei," and then off camera, some camera guy goes, "Sergey Brin." Yeah, Sergey Brin. My favorite.
It was one of those. It was bound to be.
It was one of those.
What was his name? Fucking Vladimir.
If I
This
could,
says the first Russian name that comes to mind.
I think it was Rasputin.
if I could describe to you just how cancerous this was, have you ever seen the movie Ben-Hur?
I have seen Ben-Hur.
This is
I
like
saw
if-
it once.
It's like if all 3 hours of that movie was just about his family getting leprosy.
I had scales forming on my eyes from it.
So wait, they all
Oh,
Here
yeah.
we, I'll pull this up and
they all made gay jokes at Dave Rubin.
Yeah, Adam Carolla
consistently?
ripped off a few, and then
How did I miss all
Like
of
Ted,
that?
like Ted Cruz is like Dave Rubin's asshole is wide. Like, shit
Dave.
like that.
Okay, so
Like
this
not
is-
even
this-
no attempt at a joke.
this
just
was,
making a claim.
This was like one of the first ones that Carolla let rip. They were talking about how Dennis Prager brought up how the left destroys everything, and he says
True.
they have destroyed academia, they've destroyed music, they've destroyed art, they've destroyed
music.
Christianity and
Have
Judaism.
you heard 100 gex?
And it came to it. He's like, they've also destroyed sports, and they were talking about
With
like
lacrosse.
yeah, with my yeah. He's talking about how the NBA has been destroyed by left wing politics, which okay, like they couldn't stand up.
The far
they couldn't
left
stand-
politics of getting paid millions of dollars a day to kneel.
Yeah, they couldn't stand up to Chinese oppression of people in Hong Kong. But yeah, I get it. It's Black Lives Matter, and apparently that makes them uncomfortable that politics in any sense goes into sports. And Carolla lets this one rip because Rubin, who is a fucking dork when I tell you this, he's like, I don't even watch modern NBA now. Whenever I'm working out, I watch basketball from the 80s and 90s. Which, what a dumb fucking dork.
I watch Larry Bird reruns.
I like.
Can you not afford cable? Is it going that bad?
I watch pre-recorded NBA games on Laserdisc. I have a video now, and I watch.
My friend TiVo's the games and puts them on cassette player.
I have a VCR
and then I
that I've
watched them
recorded
14
all of them.
years later.
But unfortunately, I had to record over the 1986 NBA Finals. Yeah. So
I watched Larry Bird sleep.
It's fucking this fucking urinal cake. I hate him so much. So he says that, and Adam Carolla lets this gay joke rip. He's like, you see, I know Dave's coming from a moralistic stance, but it's because in the 80s they had tighter and shorter shorts. It really brought out the contours of the male physique.
How did I miss that? What?
Yeah, he likes old NBA because he can see
All
the
their
ass
peckers.
cheeks.
I farted so hard from laughing, I shot a hole out of my pants. It was so fucking funny.
There's more than one
Adam
ball he's
Carolla
worried
seems like
about
the
if you're
kind of guy to
catching
say
my
pepper.
cold.
One last thing I'll kvetch about it, and then we can go on with it, or we can just bring, is at the very actually there's two things. I'm gonna show you guys this fucking cartoon they made. They blew all their budget on this stupid thing on this cartoon they made, and I don't know. We're gonna have a
This is just an episode of Teen Titans.
dude. It is. I'm not fucking kidding here. It's
Okay,
like
we watched a different thing because I don't remember the cartoon either. I think I
My
might
guys,
have just watched Ben-Hur.
You might have
my
just fallen
dudes.
asleep
Let this.
and thought you
Let
watched
this
it.
shit surprise you the same way it surprised me.
I dreamed about 3 short white Republicans in a trench coat, and I thought I had watched Cancel Con.
No, if I've been dreaming, it's only, I've only been dreaming about the wet ass pussy.
Alright.
I only dream about the immense
Video.
guilt I carry.
Here you go, guys.
Here we... Oh boy.
Social justice warrior.
I saw this on Twitter.
Oh boy. Free Constitution.
Oh, hell yeah. It's Antifa Freddy.
Wouldn't it be like...
You're gonna fight it with fashion, and you're gonna fight it with all the wet snatch he's getting.
Well, hold on, the ethnic enhancer. That's eugenics.
Yes.
The ethnic enhancer.
No, she's not biracial. She's ethnically enhanced.
Guys, she's just cooler. Ethnic enhancer's ability.
She's just better than the other.
Ethnic enhancer's superpower is that he can see racism everywhere, which isn't part of his name.
Yeah, ethnic enhancer is like if you keyword search "man in the high castle."
Ethnic enhancer sounds like a prostate enlarging supplement for black people.
It sounds like Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's what it sounds like. And last thing for me is at the very beginning, after they showed the new animated Transformers thing there, Dave asked the three panelists to say something controversial, and Dennis Prager goes with "America's a great country," and he cheated. He said two things. He says controversial things you can say America's great and that you love America. Adam Carolla went with you'll either do well or you won't in this country. And then Ben Shapiro, because these platitudes are basically that it's like history. It's like 8th grade history textbook.
They
like
hate that we're
patriotism.
reasonable.
Yeah, it's also saying that these problems could be overcome with hard work. Like you getting murdered by police for being black. You should just work harder. Is
To
what it
be
should
white.
Be. Yeah, to be white.
You should ethnically enhance yourself.
Ben, these
What a
platitudes.
crazy thing.
The ethnic enhancer lives rent free in my mind until I die.
You know what would have made that a
is
funny
so fucking
joke?
stupid.
The ethnic enhancer would have been funny if his like whole bit was that he swabs people's mouths and tell them that they're like 1/16 Cherokee, so that they can get like jobs at Ivy League schools.
Yeah, that would have actually worked for conservative comedy.
It would have been funny. It would have been like legitimately funny.
Oh my god.
Here's the last one. So, Prager and Carolla go with like this dumb, backwoods 8th grade social studies teacher shit of like, work hard, America loves you. And Ben Shapiro just straight goes for it here. He
Hold
shoots his
my
shot.
fucking beer.
He goes, this one's easy for me. Men are not women.
Jesus, like.
Frankly, this one's easy for me. Men are not women.
Men are not women.
Yeah, you're right. Even trans people don't believe that. That's not what the thing is.
Charlotte, I will have you know that I am 5 foot. I am 4'11" and 3/4. That rounds up to 5 foot. I am not a dwarf. Charlotte.
Hypothetically speaking, if I came on a femboy's asshole, that would not make me gay. That would not make me gay unless he told me ahead of time that he was in fact a femboy. I was under the impression that he was a woman, and so I came on his asshole. But that does not make me gay.
In Japan, they call them traps.
Bukkake means to spray. So in this sense, I will be bukkakeing later tonight with my wife, who is a doctor. Whose pussy is big and I get lost in.
In many cultures, in Japan and Canada.
And dry. Okay.
All right.
Dry
I got a
pussy is seen as a
couple
sign
of
of
things.
respect in China.
So, at one point, Ruben might enter something in here. Ruben talks about like how he like mentions these are slightly more serious things because I had like the hate recorder playing in my head. I didn't see any of the funny parts. Dave Rubin mentioned something about like having radical quote politics. And how it's incredible that like young people are just so afraid of speaking out. It's just like even though you have nothing to lose, you should speak out all the time. It's when you have like a mortgage that you need to like worry about speaking out. It's just like it's weird that having a home makes you less free in this country. It's just like, it's weird that, like, I wonder what it is about having a mortgage that makes you less free to speak your mind in this country.
Property is bad, you say.
Dave
I'll
had
tell you a cool cat who might agree with that.
Like, no shit, it fucking keeps you,
Stephen
like,
Bennell.
It's
because
not
you have-
Groucho, it's Carl. Karl Marx comes in with a fucking folding chair.
No, Ruben also had that dumb line, which is he was talking about like he's like you'll never be more brave in your life than being 19 years old and have to stand up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
In reference to like college being like in a college course, and like we went to SEMO.
Yeah.
Like a history department I went to had half the fucking staff there, half the fucking professors there were conservative.
For
like,
sure.
You don't.
100%.
I mean, you don't fail for being for writing about your stupid conservative views. You fail because you don't write about them well. Like
Yeah.
I had to become socialist first to find out who like Rosa Luxemburg was, or who. God damn it.
fucking.
Groucho
doesn't
Marx.
matter.
Yeah, it don't matter anymore.
Karl Marx's
lost
brother.
Kropkin, man.
You mean Kropotkin?
I can't say his goddamn name.
Kropotkin. My favorite anarchist philosopher is Charles Kropotkin.
It's Denzel Crocker Kropkin.
Kropsky.
Denzel Crocker. We're still on the
Conquest of bread.
So-
Timmy, I know you're holding anarchist revolutionaries in your house. You have the conquest of bread.
So, Dennis Prager on black people. This was a great one.
The way Dennis
black
Prager.
people.
Yes.
He
Just
said
the phrase is so funny to me.
Their first time talking about black people during this whole 2-hour spiel is that he mentions that he's like black. He's trying to make the case that black people are happier when they're conservative, and he has this bananas way of like trying to get to that point, which is that he says on my radio program, 90% of the people who are black and they call in, if they're happy, 90% of them are conservative. And it's like, yeah, I wonder why people who aren't conservative would be calling into your show unhappy, especially if they're black. You fucking idiot.
And also, everyone's happier when they're conservative because it encourages you to just be like, yeah, everything's cool.
Are they happier?
Well,
I don't think so.
In theory, they're supposed to be happy.
I think they ignore like
because they're supposed to be like,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be like, everything's fine. If everything's not fine, it's my fault. It's cool.
I think the skin in the game that they have is more like economical in the sense that now they don't have to like focus on like I think real catastrophic problems. Instead, they focus on like, can I get my fucking representative to pass a tax cut?
Yeah.
Like they think like their affliction of it is more like a cultural aspect of it, but yet they're happy because they have a house.
Does Nick DiPaolo seem happy to you?
Nick DiPaolo.
At all? Like at all? He had to release his last special on YouTube and pretended it was something he was doing out of the kindness of his heart.
So these fucking Black Lives Matter people.
Oh, man. All right. So let's see. Another thing about that Dennis said. This is just another Dennisism. Dennis says you could change someone's. This came right after that. He said if you just listen to any one of the speakers here talk for 25 minutes, you'd be able to like change your mind. I listened to 2 hours of that. I listened to 2 hours, and not only was my mind changed, you wouldn't be able to like get a good snapshot of what the conservative mindset is by watching any of that.
Yeah.
You would think that they had.
It sounds very all over the place and not very focused.
They had college watch parties calling in, and one of the questions posed to them is like, how do we? First off, the way they paint this is that they're losing everything. I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys have the Senate and the executive branch and the judicial branch. What fucking capital do you not have? But the way they paint it is that
we don't have the hearts and minds of the Korean American population.
we have the most watched cable news program, but you know what? How do we get Nickelodeon? Is how they like with it.
Well, it's just like that, and they. Well, I mean, the thing is that it's because no one enjoys the things they do.
No, 100%.
When will
Even they
fucking
don't.
SpongeBob come out as a Christian conservative?
I
don't know,
Probably
Patrick.
never now.
Yeah,
He's gay.
SpongeBob.
He already came out once.
He's reformed now. He's like, I don't know. I turned away from that lifestyle and found the true power of Jesus Christ, Patrick.
Also, I realize that I'm the one that brought it up, but the conservative fear-mongering idea that like we live in a society that's like so anti-conservative that now they have to come out as conservative is so fucking hilarious to me. It is so fucking funny to imagine some kid sitting their mom down and be like, Mom, I have something to tell you. I think Jordan Peterson is based.
The big wrap up is, I guess, in terms of kvetching, is like they just want to ignore problems. Is kind of how it is. You got to wrap up on it. We can jump into RBG.
Let's see. What are my notes? Adam Carolla absolutely slays with his "I hate my mom" COVID joke. Yeah, freedom of speech especially applies when I want to say the N-word. Missing all of these epic Corolla traffic jokes.
Ben Shapiro talking about the California wildfires, blaming it on Gavin Newsom and Pelosi when those are federal parks, which is something funny to me.
Corolla couldn't land a single joke the entire time. He even turned to Prager. It was just like, I would have thought you liked that joke. And he's just like, no, I'm laughing internally.
He made a Torah joke. He's like, do you like my inside Jew jokes?
It's just like, shut up.
Adam.
Do you like my top secret Jew jokes?
Yeah, it is,
or shall we say, my top secret 1%?
Come on, guys. You're in my garage. Show me something here. Yeah, that was good. Let's talk about RPG.
It's the main event.
She's crazy dead now.
She's very much
As opposed to 3 weeks ago when we did this before, she was alive then.
We were going to bring up like articles that annoyed us, but Thor found 2 absolute bangers that we're going to go on. So we would like to extend that as a civil rights lawyer. It's something to very, that's something to be admired about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Congrats on being a, pretty... She's not like this super left icon that I would say that we should adore. Like this cult of personality she's got is kind of really embarrassing to some degree.
Yeah, on top of that,
a better liberal justice would be Sonia Sotomayor, who at least where Ginsburg has failed, I think, in terms of criminal justice. She's a very law and order in terms of like the decisions she made. Sotomayor is. I honestly wish Ginsburg would have retired 10 years ago and we would have replaced her with another Sotomayor. Yeah. But Ginsburg's record, the cult's personality doesn't make sense to me. It's sad that she's gone because now the Republicans are going to get a 6-3 majority on it, and there's really nothing we can fucking do about it. Yeah. Yeah, let's take some hot takes because I think that's a pretty measured and like sobering response.
Yeah. My main issue with RBG is that she didn't have a WikiFeed entry. Not one WikiFeed article on Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Guys, did you see the video of like her personal trainer going up and doing like push-ups in front of the casket?
Yes.
I want to take that clip.
One last set.
I want to take that clip, put me in its place, and it zooms in, same audio, and I eat 5 hot dogs as fast as I fucking can.
Fuck you. He has the best take there is. He has the best one. Gyms are closed most everywhere. He has the best take.
I was the guy who ate 5 hot dogs a day with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I just had to have one last sesh with her.
Thor
I ate 5 hot dogs in front of her coffin.
And I threw up on it. Thor, let it rip, man. You got
Well, let's tee it off. We'll get more of our hot takes in with maybe we get the juices flowing with a nice little lib take.
There are gonna be so many kids in Seattle dressing up as Ruth Bader Ginsburg for Halloween.
That their moms are gonna force them to
across the communist zone of Seattle.
Oh my God, I don't.
By their millennial blonde-haired moms.
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about. Hey, Ruth Conda forever. Fucking.
Oh my
Ruth
God,
Conda, not even. Yes, there was a post where someone was like, So this happened today. My 4-year-old daughter came up to me and she asked who Ruth Bader Ginsburg was, so I told her. And then she did the Wakanda salute and said, #Ruth Conda forever.
Oh, dude. Okay, no. I have to do this now.
Yeah.
We have to do this. Okay, so now everyone in the podcast universe is now going to know about my severe hatred of upper middle class white women. I hate these bitches. I hate that they just can't let anyone have anything.
Yes. The notorious
they're-
RBG.
Notorious RBG, the Ruth Conda, I have a theory about like middle class.
She's retroactively black.
When a job
hold on,
applicant
hold on.
misspelled a word on their application, Ruth Bader Ginsburg denied him and said, "Nope, the typo," because she's
Okay.
in there doing the work.
No. Look, okay, so I have like a theory about upper middle class white women is that they have a certain type of schizophrenia that comes from having like only one minor like source of intersectionality. They are women, but so they get to be like they think oh that means that like I get to be like cool because they think being a victim is cool because that's what happens when you have tons of fucking privilege is that you think being a victim is cool.
Yes.
Because people want to magnify their voices and they just love fucking never shutting up about anything. Just
Thor
fucking
Prager
bip,
here.
bip, 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 bip. But anyway, my misogyny is showing.
Yes.
But like they have a schizophrenia from like being like one form of intersectional, but they're also white, wealthy, cis, hetero. They have nothing else, so they can't like square that circle with their inexorable privilege. So they have to constantly make everything about them fucking selves. Like literally everything. How long did it take before like shit like the Black Lives Matter movement was somehow about white women?
Yeah, that is like a notable problem with like middle class liberal white women who think that like that's also where TERF ideology comes from.
Yeah,
So,
TERF
Yep.
ideology,
It's
women
just like-
pretending to be like Native American when they're only like 1/64th, and then like women pretending to be black and being like black history professors.
They were told in the 90s that they are like the most oppressed people, and then they have to realize now that they are not.
They-
And
absolutely not.
They can't make those two facts mesh with one another. They can't be intersectional.
Yeah.
They can't figure it out.
No, they can't. They just cannot handle it. They had like a couple of seconds where like people are like, all right, let's let the women talk, and they're like, finally, it's like, okay, let's let the black women talk, and they're like,
I'm not done yet.
I will
it's my turn.
listen here.
The notorious RBG.
I will speak on behalf of them.
Ruth Conda forever.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Ruth, I'd rather get
Without
lobotomized
further
through my
ado,
ass.
we're gonna get into RBG never retired because she knew the Supreme Court needed her. Epic. All right.
She is best friends with
Based.
Antonin Scalia, which
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She's gonna meet Scalia in heaven.
Scalia and I have to
and
go
they're
out.
gonna hug.
We're gonna go out and get some clams, and he's gonna tell me why gay people don't matter.
Ruth and
Okay,
Scalia.
I've
are
got-
gonna
Okay,
stick
all right, we gotta get
together
this
in
article.
I have to get to the article because we're running shy on time, I'm sure, and also I have 7% battery.
We can go as long as we want.
No, we can't. Okay, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died from complications of pancreatic cancer today at age 87. She leaves behind a legacy as fierce advocate of gender equality and women's rights, as well as a decisive voice on the highest U.S. court for progressive causes, ranging from immigration to accessible health care and affirmative action. For the many Americans who admired Ginsburg, the news of her death is painful on multiple levels. Not only has the nation lost a woman widely regarded as boundary-shattering feminist icon, her loss also puts into immediate question the future of the Supreme Court, which I wonder how that happened. It's like maybe fucking waiting. I don't know why I had to interject that. They're going to get to that, and we can fucking dunk on that later. Which, at the time of her death, had 4 judges appointed by Democratic presidents, including Ginsburg, and 5 appointed by Republicans. If Donald Trump and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are able to push through a nomination before the November elections in the U.S., this is such a terribly written article. In the U.S. Where else? where the fuck else? All right. Or if Trump is reelected, the next justice will almost certainly be conservative, determining the court's ideological makeup for many years into the future. The stakes are incredibly high, as Ginsburg herself was well aware. My most fervent wish Is that I will? I don't know what she sounds like, but I'm trying to do the voices like my dad
Ebonics.
did when I was a kid. Is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed. I hate the fact that like we pretend that last words are anything other than something that Hollywood made up.
They really are.
Most people's last words are just like,
I'm dying.
could I at least go to the bathroom first?
Last words are just some shit in like Bond movies
Oh,
where the
no.
villain goes, "Any last words?" and then they're
Yeah.
never his last words.
Or
He
just
always
like
has other
your
shit to
father
say.
is just like your father was really the universe or whatever.
In
like
real
some
life,
crazy
it's like
shit.
in real life, it's like, "Do you have any last words?" It's like cranberries, and then they die.
Tell Donald Trump that nevertheless I persisted.
It's like really you're gonna be coherent when the final neurons in your brain are firing.
Do you have any final words? I shitted.
I shitted,
No,
farted, and came.
Okay. She said just days before her death. In the days in In the days and weeks to come, the public discourse may well return to the question of whether Ginsburg was right in refusing to succumb to the pressure to retire during Barack Obama's second term, which critics say would have cleared the way for another liberal judge to be appointed in her place. I mean, critics, people with working brain cells, literally anybody who's not drunk currently.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun thing about the elderly, they tend to die suddenly.
interesting.
Fun fact.
Obama could have easily fucking appointed Macaulay Culkin or some shit, some young buck ready to be on the Supreme Court for way too long.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting his life together.
Yeah, dude, he's got it together.
Fucking Jonathan Taylor, any other '90s young child star.
I think it would have been
That's
pretty...
just who I think should be on Supreme Court.
Christy Carlson Romano.
I mean, if we had the foresight, we would have known that Kim K is going to get her law degree, and maybe she can be on the Supreme Court. All right. So, next paragraph. Ginsburg was skeptical about... I shouldn't have put gum back in my mouth. I'm starting to read like Joe Biden, where his teeth are like slipping, but he needs to get his point out because he'll lose it.
Hey, will you just shut up, man?
Ginsburg was skeptical about that logic. When that suggestion is made, I ask the question, who do you think that the president could nominate that could get through the Republican Senate? It's just like, I don't know, fucking like you asked me when it wasn't a Republican Senate in like 2014.
Obama ain't got a bitch half as bad as me. Just like
I got the biggest, baddest pussy.
I'm not retiring. I'm kind of the shit. So,
Mr. Obama, I'm still fucking.
she straight up was just like, they're like, "Hey, well, you retire, so maybe you won't die in the middle of a fascist takeover."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No."
I think I won't.
She still won't replace me. I'm going to live forever.
It's going again. Go ahead, guys.
I asked the question, who do you think the president could nominate that could get through the Republican Senate? Who you would prefer on the court than me? She told NPR's Nina Totenberg.
Who do you...
Nina Totenberg.
Listen, Toad Breath.
No, Totenberg, like a tote, like one of those NPR totes they send you for like.
Listen, Totenberg, I feel like you and me are on the same team here if you catch my drift. Who do you think
Was
is going to replace me?
Miss Ginsburg, are you seducing me?
Yes, as I was talking to Nina Whole Foods Jewish the other day.
Are you telling me two globalists were in a room together
Oh,
for
Jesus
this
Christ.
article?
Indeed, in 2019, indeed, it's worth remembering that Republicans led by Mitch McConnell successfully blocked Obama's second-term Supreme Court pick, Merrick Garland. Nobody remembers Merrick Garland. No one cares. Nobody
don't even know
remembers
who
any of
that
that
is.
shit. Exactly. From joining the bench, refusing to consider a new appointment until the 2016 presidential election, Mitch McConnell indicated earlier this year that he'd have no such scruples under Trump. Within hours of the announcement of Ginsburg's death, he vowed that her replacement would get a vote on the Senate floor. Of course. Who literally could? I mean, like Vegas odds. Who would have called that one? I mean,
Do you think maybe the Republicans will be cool for a minute? No, I don't think so. Probably not.
Are you telling me they lied?
Do you think maybe Mitch McConnell will be honest for
Listen.
a little bit? No, I don't think so.
Listen,
no,
Mitch.
I think that's a stupid gay thing to think.
Listen,
I
Mitch.
think you're a fucking idiot.
Mitch, you've been playing Modern Warfare all day, and Kevin and Steve came over, and we wanted to play Modern Warfare. Do you think you can let us play for like 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes?
okay.
I would kick Mitch McConnell's ass. I just had to get that out there.
No, I mean. Okay, so I mean that's how I got one of the bans was threatening to kill Mitch McConnell on Facebook. But okay, so here we're getting into the home stretch, and this is what I'm talking about. There may have been a gendered element to the calls for Ginsburg to give up her spot on the court. She observed in interviews that people hadn't leaned hard on Justice John Paul Stevens and Stephen Breyer to step down despite their advanced age. And she purportedly thought that Justice Sandra Day O'Connor had effectively been forced out of the court. Quote, I think that story is playing in, God damn it. I'm going cross-eyed here. Here we go.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg made me dyslexic, not clickbait.
It's
No, like
RBG. It's Notorious RBG here with us right now.
The hertz on my fucking screen like just dropped a ton, and I'm getting like,
You fucking nerd.
Yeah, they have the car rental.
no, like the gigahertz, like the fucking like what do you call it? Whenever you slide the amount of motion blur that exists.
Oh, shit.
I think that the story is playing into the back of Ginsburg's head when she was like, no man is going to tell me it's my time. Because I saw that
Except
happen to
God.
a person who really, I think, and this is so clunkily written, who talks like this? There are so many commas and like, they're just like, just tell me, I think that story is playing in the back of Ginsburg's head when she's like, no man, I'm going to tell.
It's so
No man is
incoherent.
going to tell me it's my time because I saw that happen to a person who really, I think, in many ways, was her sister at the Supreme Court. No, it literally shifts perspective.
It's written like one of the worst passages of the Bible. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was a Supreme Court justice, who is now dead, who is no longer living, may or may not have said these words that I'm about to say right now. :
What the fuck is this sentence? Chop it up a bit.
It's just such a weird
right.
run on.
Okay, let's just I gotta get through this. Journalist, and this is a quote from another journalist, so maybe I should give her a fucking break. Journalist Delia Lithwick, Chris Delia Lithwick, explained last year.
Oh, I thought that was his actual name for a second. I was like, oh, I like the comedian. But now I realize that was the joke you were making.
Okay, here's the epic fucking turn. Beyond these considerations, Ginsburg's decision to stay on the Supreme Court and continue working right up until her death, all while dealing with 5 episodes of cancer over the years.
5 episodes of cancer.
Why do
Like,
you
there
want
was
me
no
to quit?
There was no predicting that she was going to die after the first time she got cancer.
I just love the wording of 5 episodes of cancer. Previously on pancreatic cancer, Ruth Bader Ginsburg shitted herself.
RBG goes to work
Next,
by
tune in to see
shitting
if-
her pants.
Tune in to see
Dude.
if she fucking dies.
Dude, like, I like to imagine that, like, her version of, like, Osmosis Jones, if you guys remember Osmosis Jones.
Chris Rock. and
She's got the
Patrick
body
Warburton.
of Bill Murray.
No, like, Ozzy is, like, inside Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it's, like, essentially...
Lawrence Fishburne has pancreatic cancer.
No, it's like, I mean, like, it's like the Matrix, like the post, like, machine takeover Matrix, but, like, the machines are cancer.
And Osmosis Jones
Jones is Neo.
is Neo. Dude, we need
Dude.
we need to
Drix
do
is
a
Morpheus,
reboot. We need to
clearly.
do a reboot of Ozzy and Drix, the TV show.
Yeah,
Except
dude.
instead of being in some Mexican high schooler, they're in Ruth Bader Ginsburg as she's dying.
The only reason I remember that you're correct about it being a Mexican high schooler is
It's
that
because his
like,
name is Hector.
I only remember his name because of like the smoking episode.
Yes, that's the one episode I remember.
Where, like,
is that
for some-
Hector is smoking and everyone's like, Hector's smoking, did you hear?
Yeah, and for some reason, nicotine sings its own name every time it says its own name. There's no other like musical portions of it. It just anyway.
I remember in the movie
was
when
a
they
good
had
fucking show.
when they had fucking Kid Rock make a cameo.
All I remember about the movie is that it's about Bill Murray eating an egg.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole.
Kid
fucking
Rock's
movie.
making a cameo,
They
and they're in
told
a
the buffalo
they're in a
to eat
nightclub
wings.
that's a fucking giant pimple on his forehead, and explodes on Molly Shannon's face. Anyway,
Welcome to the Big Gay Ozzy and Drix podcast.
welcome to the Osmosis fan club podcast.
Okay,
I'm
so
Ozzy,
anyway,
I'm Drix, and I'm Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
and I'm dead.
this July announcing that she'd undergone treatment for recurrent cancer. Just keep
Oof.
digging it. She emphasized, I mean, so sick that we had like a cancer-ridden goblin on the seat, like protecting women's rights. So great. I mean, what am I supposed to respect her?
It's cool. She was girl boss.
She literally undid, like she undid, like I like this isn't me like being. I hate that people like think I'm being mean to her, like beating up some dead old woman.
But she did
like
fuck up Native American communities.
yes, well, and
in
she,
a big way.
and she undid every bit of good she ever once did during her entire
Yeah.
seat on the court. Like, not just that. Other people's good work on the court previously.
100%.
She's gonna undo Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, her biggest accomplishment. The reason why there are fawning articles for her is literally going to be undone with like a snap of a finger, by Mitch McConnell, whoever that fucking bitch that they're
Amy
like
Barrett,
propping
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Joe Jorgensen.
Jojo Jorgensen. Well,
Amy
that's-
Muppet Spears or whatever.
I am coming forth to nominate Miss Piggy for. That'd be good.
All right, so that was basically the end of the article there. There's some like other personal annotations in here, but like that's the major part. Like I loved how the article ended with like basically just like I think that this is a super gendered thing that they tried to force her out. Anyway, this woman with 50 incurable diseases died.
This woman who
with
eventually-
dignity.
This is a woman whose
Like
body mainly was just a series of tumors.
They're at the doctor's office, and the doctor's like,
Whoa.
I'm afraid you have breast cancer. It's like, is it because I'm a woman? It's like, probably. Like, what the fuck else am I
Men
supposed
don't
to
typically
say?
get this. Yeah, no, it's just like
I mean, yeah, it's likely.
how sexist of them to imply that maybe this walking tumor with a bitch's name. I mean, okay, I'm sorry.
Clearly-
As soon as I said I hated white women, you guys knew I was gonna be
Notorious
misogynist the rest of
Clearly-
it.
RBG.
I was gonna be
Malignant
problematic.
RBG.
Clearly, it was misogynistic.
Cancer's
harassment.
misogynistic.
Harassment.
I mean, like-
that made Ruth Bader Ginsburg die.
Look, I
and
don't-
not her fucking asshole cancer or 12 other types of ADHD and fucking.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that's not even a disease.
look, it's not.
I lost where I was going with that.
I don't know,
I'm
man,
sure
yeah.
there was some gendered aspects to it. I'm sure
Oh,
there
yeah,
were.
yeah.
I'm not saying like okay, like to be like now that we're like I'm
Misogyny
done riffing
does
on it,
exist.
It is
Yeah.
real and it is pervasive and it is everywhere.
And
But
experts at that time also cited that if she had retired during Obama's second term, he was going to replace her with another female justice.
Yeah, exactly. Is like, look, I understand the systemic sexism exists. There is a patriarchy, and you know there is. I mean, like she may have wanted to like wait until somebody like a woman may have replaced her, which she was like making that call based off of, you know. Literally everyone else was making that call too,
Yeah.
which you know maybe you shouldn't have gambled with that because like that I mean like gambling on maybe being replaced by a woman is like nobody's gonna remember any of that anyway.
Yeah, man.
But like
I'm playing Yahtzee with mortality to be girl boss.
yeah, I mean it's like look all of these things exist. The structures are flawed and also you're kind of a dumb bitch for doing that.
Yeah. Her fucking hubris.
Damn it! I was hoping that would get a bigger laugh.
Nah, dude, it's just...
I have respect for Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the same way I have respect for Obama. They did one or two maybe pretty okay things, but in general, I don't think they're amazing people.
No, of course
They
not.
do not deserve the cult of personality.
Exactly. They don't deserve the cult of personality. I do
Yeah.
think it's cool that some people recognize the few like good things they did, but at the end of the day, they were still fucking liberal, capitalist, imperialist pigs.
Guys, just some self-reflection here. How are we gonna react when Bernie Sanders dies?
I'm gonna jerk myself off.
Dude, I'm gonna crank my hog for Bernie.
As far as I'm concerned, Bernie's dead.
Yeah, Bernie's he's not gonna run again.
We don't need him.
It's over.
Look,
Yeah.
He's just gonna be like a fun. He's basically gonna be some political personality who occasionally says banal social democrat things on Facebook. He's not gonna have like a YouTube channel or anything, although that would be pretty dope. I think I would watch Bernie on YouTube.
Let's close this out by getting a good laugh out of this. Another one of us has fallen. Thomas Rosslin, after last night's shit show debate, which, just a quick aside, because Thor and I were kind of going back, ranting about this earlier today. Everyone has their tired and hackneyed like jokes that they make during a debate, which, whatever, it's a shitty year, I get it, whatever level of catharsis you need, but the thing that's mostly concerning to me is whenever they like to show undecided voters who are just hogs and still fucking undecided, and the level of people who make these jokes. The president, like, us as leftists always, we're pretty well aware of the president's fascistic, okay?
Yeah.
He's a strong arm. He likes right-wing militia groups.
Yeah.
For him to just say stand by to the Proud Boys and then encourage voter suppression, like, part of me just wanted to be like, I get it, your fucking grumpy old man memes and fucking two old guys from the Muppets is awesome. Hey, the president's committing to fascism. Maybe, like, address that. Does this not scare the shit out of you guys?
Yeah, that was the point where it was officially too much for me. I got like scared. I teared up a little bit. I got in my little gay feelings.
You cried one milky tear out of that sweet little brown-eyed boy.
I was so vehemently like, no, I'm not voting. Fuck it. I'm not dealing with this shit. I'll vote on the local and state level, but I'm not voting for a president. I was so firmly like, no, fuck it. I'm not giving the Democratic establishment what they want.
He gave in.
After last night's debate, I gave in. I crumbled under the pressure of the Proud Boys. Because he said, it was really just the screenshots of the shit that Proud Boys were saying on Reddit. At that point, I was like, man,
You mentioned
fucking
Day of
fine.
the Rope.
I was like, yeah, they mentioned Day of the Rope, which is a reference to the Turner Diaries, which is a neo-Nazi book. And at that point, I was like, fuck it. If at this point, even if voting for Biden is moralistically and structurally identical to voting for Trump,
And meaningless.
It will
Also,
at
don't
least-
forget meaningless.
meaningless. It will at least be nothing. The worst I will be doing is nothing.
No, I mean, the thing is that, like, look, I don't, your vote is a consumer choice. It means nothing. It's
Yeah.
pissing in the wind. It's like trying to spite, not voting out of spite for the two candidates, like you're making like some sort of politically charged action, is like saying that being a one-man boycott against like Pepsi.
Yeah. It doesn't do shit.
Sam Cedar had a pretty interesting point that I hadn't considered, but he was bringing up Trump's essentially possibly waging like a coup and distorting the margin of victory if Biden were to win and utilizing that to remain in power. But he had mentioned that while he had not initially wasn't excited or planned to vote in New York, he was going to do it anyway because New York's a blue state. Biden will easily win that. He's going to do that as a way because there will be suppression at some level that will affect certain communities, that will distort the numbers, and instead of maybe winning by 2 million votes, let's say Biden wins by 500,000, and that works more in Trump's favor in that aspect of just selling this line to his hogs that the election could have been rigged, and that it's meaningless. It could affect maybe an electoral college, but really it's going to come down to the margin of victory on that one. And I actually found that a little compelling. Like, I'll pull the trigger for Biden, but like I get it. Like if someone's like, "Oh, hey, we have a racist rapist in the White House, and we're gonna run our own against him. Like, I get why someone would like sit out on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But Cedar had like it was just like kind of like an interesting point of view that I found on it, in the sense of just kind of like, if you rack the numbers up enough, it's harder for him to like wage some kind of coup, and
like,
maybe the system will bend back
can't.
and kick him the fuck out.
Who's no like okay, like that's a thing, like I'm gonna be the wet blanket on this like hysteria about like the white nationalism and like Nazis and shit. Is the material conditions for fascism have not been met in this country.
Yeah.
They don't. It doesn't exist. We're not experiencing like Weimar Republic levels of inflation. We're not experiencing like massive like we don't know, like we've experienced massive job losses, but we haven't experienced like an economic depression the likes of which we'll never have seen, like being able to buy like fucking like food like with a wheelbarrow of cash.
Yeah,
And
with a
our,
wheelbarrow,
and our
duh.
fascists are, let's be honest, our fascists are fucking pussies.
Yeah.
They're like schlubby fucking
everyone
17-year-old
is.
geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is, honestly.
I would
We're
say
so
that
atomized. Nobody knows how to do.
Our
like,
fascists
real-
are so ill-equipped to do fascism.
I think
is-
like our turn is going not like necessarily toward like turning into like a fascist regime, but in the sense of just becoming increasingly way more authoritarian.
Yeah.
In the aspect of like just conceding power to people who will not only like misuse it. We can point out that both sides have the ability to neglect the American people and to prop up the status of capital. But in the aspects of like, we're fucking neutering people in camps, like when people bring up JoJo Jorgensen, because the solution obviously is that we should go full ANCAP when it comes to these two systems. They bring up like, well, we should like limit the reach of like these federal departments. I'm like, yeah, your dream of like eliminating the Department of Education has been great with school reopenings. Like, we fucked up and like 200,000 people are dead. We're just ceding more power to people who are richer, who are going to exploit and hurt us, and then control like the government and all its confines on it. Like, yeah, I would agree, like, in the sense that, like, yeah, we're not like a fascist regime. We do fascistic stuff or authoritarian stuff. We do
We're
theocratic
imperial.
shit. Yeah.
That's what
no,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah.
We're an empire.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not, like the problem with thinking that we're fascists is like fascism is a grassroots movement, but fascism, like, the only way that fascism gains mainstream power is by being propped up by capitalists.
Yeah.
So what capitalists are going to prop up Trump?
Yeah.
Especially like, look, they're not being threatened by anything. Like a coup like would have plausibly been in the like may have been like somewhere within the periphery of the cards for like if Bernie was being run, because he would be an actual threat to their bottom lines. But fucking Biden is like the biggest friend to like credit card companies, which are the
Yeah.
biggest bank robbers in
Yeah.
capitalism.
They're just,
And-
it's just too fucking, this election is just too, like, different advertising firms fighting over a product, and the product is us.
Yeah, as I think I was telling you this, like, the Republicans are like they're the offensive capitalism, and the Democrats are defense. They play
Yeah.
cover too.
Oh, okay.
Republicans will run the ball.
They put on the nice face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rep-
exactly.
yeah.
Republicans got Pat Mahomes. We got fucking, Jadeveon Clowney. Like, that's the equivalent of it. Sports, everybody. Like, the Dems like to see, they don't really make conceited efforts to ever challenge the system itself. It is the thing we make fun of that I think at the heart of it that really annoyed us with RBG's death is the stuff of, we'll deify people, or we'll ingest like certain identity politics, or we'll wear Black Lives Matters on our shirt and get a few cops to wear a body camera, but we're not going to seriously be we're not going to be serious about tackling these certain issues that plague us, that affront us in that sense. You know why? Because that'd be too hard. The Republicans have like an ideological motivation to own the libs and destroy the Democrats.
Yeah.
The Democrats want to get along with the Republicans, and with that, they're lazy. They don't want to challenge
for sure.
that too
I
much.
think I have the perfect joke to close this out.
Let's close it out.
Since we brought up RBG again, RBG was a feminist. May have been a feminist icon, but I can tell you one thing: she never saw an oil pipe she didn't like.
And with that, thank you for listening to Broletariat. We'll try and start doing this every week. We love you all. I'm Tom. It's Thor.
I'm Thomas, and I shitted myself.
We shitted, farted, and came. Go vote.
Go vote! Get the fuck out of here!
Go vote. Get the Cheeto out of office. Orange man could bite my ball back. Bye, everyone.
All right.